pleasant morning to one and all. I'm Prashanti. I completed my Master of Engineering and I've got about 6 years of teaching experience in an engineering college and about 3 years of teaching students online for both engineering as well as school students. So today I have selected probability for demonstration. Before studying any subject, it is required that you must know why are you studying this subject and where are you going to use this subject in your daily day-to-day life. Okay, so now I will quickly tell you how this probability emerged. Earlier in ancient days, when gaming became very popular, a noble Frenchman was very much eager in knowing the chances of he winning all the games. So what he did was, he wrote a letter to a very prominent mathematician about finding the chances of he winning the game. So this famous mathematician, together with many other mathematicians, introduced this probability theory. Okay, so now how are we using it in our daily day-to-day life? Will you get centum in mathematics? Yes, probably. I ask you, will it rain today? Probably no. Yes, probability is used everywhere in our day-to-day life. Okay, so now let us go to the class. We will quickly summarize what we have studied in the previous classes. Then I will teach you an advanced concept. Okay, so I will take the very common example which we use every time. So what is this? This is a coin. So now tell me, how many faces does this coin have? How many sides does this coin have? Yes, this coin has 2 sides. The first one is the head. One side it is head and the other side it is the tail. This coin has 2 sides. One is the head, the other is the tail. So I call this coin as an unbiased coin. Okay, so now when I toss this coin, what will happen? When I toss this coin, either it will rest at head or it will rest at tail. Okay, so in today's class, I'm going to tell you how are we going to find the sample space. Okay, so I will repeat it again. When I toss the coin, what are the possible outcomes that I will get? The possible outcomes that I will get are head and tail. Okay, so to write the sample space, we are going to use the tree diagram. So why is tree diagram required? Because when we go to complicated ones, tree diagram will ease up the problems. Okay, yes. So the first problem which we are going to do today is, I am going to toss a coin. Okay, so if I toss a coin, so what is going to be the sample space? I am going to use the tree diagram. Okay, so let me draw the tree diagram. So if I toss a coin, okay, what are the various outcomes? So I will write outcomes. So what are the various outcomes? The 2 possible outcomes are head and tail. So these are the 2 possible outcomes. Okay, now let me conclude. So when I toss a coin, the possible outcomes are head and tail. So this is called the sample space. Okay, so sample space is written as S dot S. So hereafter, whenever I write S dot S, it means it is sample space. You have to remember, whenever I write S dot S, it means it is sample space. So how do I write the sample space? Sample space is equal to, I open the curly braces. Okay, what are the outcomes? The outcomes can be either head or tail. So I will write it as H, which means head, comma, tail, and I close the braces. So this is my sample space. Now can we conclude what is sample space? So here, tossing a coin is a random experiment. So when a random experiment is conducted, all possible outcomes are called the sample space. So when they ask you in exam, what is sample space? Should you by heart? No. You have to understand. Sample space is when a random experiment is conducted, all possible outcomes are called the sample space. Okay, now let's take another example. Quickly take another example. I am going to roll a die. Okay, before that, so this is a die. How many sides, how many faces does a die have? Yes, right. A die has 6 faces and on each or 6 sides, and on each side there is a number which comes from 1 to 6. Okay, so now when I roll a die, okay, so what is the tree diagram for this? When I roll a die, the tree diagram can be drawn as, the outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these are the various possible outcomes when I roll a die. Okay, now how can I write the sample space? Sample space is denoted as, yes, it is denoted as yes dot yes. Okay, I open the curly braces. What are the various possible outcomes? The various possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how I write the sample space. Okay, all this we have studied in the previous classes. Okay, now let us go to a little more complicated case. Okay, the third one is going to be a complicated case. I am going to toss a coin, okay, and I am going to roll a die. Both I am going to do together. How am I going to write the sample space? How can I do this? First, what will I do? To make it easy, I will draw the tree diagram. Yes, so first let me draw the tree diagram. Let me see what are the outcomes. So first here I am rolling the die as well as tossing the coin. So first let me consider the die. So if I roll the die, what are the possible outcomes? 1, I may get 1, I may get 2, I may get 3, I may get 4, I may get 5 or I may get 6. Now I am rolling the die, at the same time I am tossing the coin. So let me consider the first scenario. Let us consider first, when I roll the die I get 1. At that time, okay, at that time, there is a possibility in the coin I may get a head or tail. Okay, the second scenario, when I get 2 in die, that time I can get a head or I can get a tail. Similarly, third case, I may get a head or I may get a tail. Fourth case, I may get a head or I may get a tail. Fifth case, I may get a head or I may get a tail. And the sixth case, I may get a head or I may get a tail. Yes? Now, how do we write the sample space? So, here, to make the sample space easy, we are drawing the tree diagram. Okay? So, how do I write the sample space? Yes dot yes is equal to, I open the curly braces. What is the first condition? I may get 1 and head or I may get 1 or tail. So, the first condition, in the die I may get 1 and in the coin I may get head. Second, 1 or tail. So, 1 or tail. Then, here I may get 2 in the die or head in the coin or 2 in the die and tail in the coin. So, 2 comma h and 2 comma tail. Similarly, I may get 3 comma h, 3 comma t, 4 comma h, 4 comma t, 5 comma h, 5 comma t, 6 comma h, 6 comma t, and I close the curly braces. So, hope you understood how to find out the sample space. Thanks for the opportunity.